paired team in the Brewerton Speedway. Turn 4 rowdies. How's everybody up there doing tonight? You ready to rock and roll and see some racing here this evening? All right, I love it. Up first on the docket, the Fleet Repairs 4-cylinder Super Stocks. I'll write that down at some point. We get going with heat race number 1 on the evening. Here is how they'll line them up. Starting on the pole. In car number 67K out of Parrish, it's Clayton Koch. To the outside of Koch. In the 30S, that is Jack Taskey. Row 2 on the inside, third starting spot. 26R, that is Ray Beckler. The outside of Ray in the 20, that is Eric Rowley. Row number 3 on the inside, fifth starter, that is Quinn Wallace, the mighty Quinn in the 21. Then we got the 13Z. I'm going to go with Dakota Spicer. Did not register. That 13Z was late into the gate. Zach Petrie in the 13. We got the number 7 of David Mills and the 22C of already rocking and rolling down here on the Bravo Energy Product right after the display. Got a car in trouble. Down the back. Number 20, and that will bring out the yellow. For the 20 of Rowley and Taskey, also around in that 30S machine. Nights left to go in the season, and car counts are exploding. 3 in the 13. Brewerton Energy Products night at the Speedway. So it'll be Ray Beckler and Quinn Wallace, Clayton Koch, and David Mills, Jack Taskey, Zach Petrie, and the 20 of Eric Rowley here in heat race number 1. Whitaker Ford, Billy Whitaker used cars and trucks, Vernon Hope Speedway police cars. On the surface, all starts and restarts will be at the BP Racing Fuel, making PowerPoint barrels in turns 3 and 4. The leader sets the pace. He also gets lane choice. So the 26R electing the inside line here on the restart. He's good to go and firing anywhere in between those 2 barrels in turns 3 and 4. That's where we'll restart the heat race here. Lap in. Green is out with that to the lane. Eric Rowley must have missed the shift there the first time because he's starting to pick up the pace here. And he's got a battle to win. Number 1 spot. Look at that number 7 of David Mills inside. Oh, Ray Beckler up way up on the high side of the racetrack. Quinn Wallace smoking away. Smoking is bad for your health, but apparently good for that racetrack. Dropped that 7X. And Eric Rowley is now dropping fluid on the racetrack as well. I believe that is the 7X machine of Tyler Bates coming off of third number 4. We go here for Quinn Wallace. We got a whole bunch of cars with front grip, the 20 and the 7. Petrie and Zach Petrie. Rounding out the field here for the Fleet Repairs 4-cylinder heat race number 1. Fleet Repairs 4-cylinders. We got the 360 of Sam Kersey, Sophia Denova in the 9S, the 40H of Jerry Herbert, the 17 of Sergeant Chuck Powalczyk, the 5 of Damian Beckler, Super Sophia Denova, and the 531 joining us here tonight. It is Kiki Van Apps. Kiki Van Apps in the James Hilton 531. We're underway. And to turn 3 and 4. Then it's Kersey, Beckler, Herbert, Denova, and Van Apps. And turns 1 and 2. It's going to be a 17 to Chuck Powalczyk, a 5 Emma Beckler. 1 and 2. Laps to go. As Beckler closing in on the 17 of Powalczyk. White flag now to go. Looking for the lead with a half a lap to go. Down the back stretch. Chuck turns it up a little bit. Slides up the racetrack. Beckler on the bottom. Beckler with a heat race win over Powalczyk. Meanwhile, Pandemonium from third on back. David Denova with a heat race place number 3. Then it's the 40H of Herbert, the 9S of Denova, the 360 of Kersey, and the Van Apps 531. And David Medler with a stat of the night. He asked Chuck Powalczyk how long he's been running that Volkswagen Rabbit. He said he built it in 1997. He's been running the car for the last 24 years. Wow, that's older than some of the fans here tonight. Tracy Road Equipment Pit Clock Modified Heat Race number 1 on the Speedway. Here is how the lineup up for heat race number 1. Starting on the pole, in the hole out of Horseshoe Island, New York. And the Harris Farms number 38, that is Tim Harris. Outside of Harris, in the JPW Erectors, 88J, that is Joe Hawkins Jr. Row 2 on the inside, third starting spot. Comes into tonight's second in points, the JB Installation HBR Mohawk Northeast, number 98H, it's the P-Bill Bandit, Jimmy Phelps. To the outside of Phelps and the Gypsum Express, Gypsum Wholesalers, 42P, Genoa Giant Pat Ward. And we got the 5H of Heil, the 19 of Noto, the 36 of Bouchard, the 02 of Bresnahan, and the 31 machine. Here we go, green flag, Phelps. position, and we'll restack it here with a lap to go. Jimmy Phelps, I mentioned, second in points coming into tonight. 520 points for White to Phelps' 504. 17-point difference between the top two. So 3 points races left tonight and 2 more. So here we go. It'll be a green and white together and the checker. Jimmy Phelps. Phelps towards the high side. Then it'll be the 36 of Bouchaw, the 7 of War, the 19 of Noto, and the 31 of Tom Jock rounding out the field. So the female bandit, Jimmy Phelps, puts a statement in his heat race with a win. Heil second, Bresnahan third, then it's Harris and August, your 5 cars in through the handicap here tonight, heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 immediately onto the racetrack. Here is how heat race number 2 will roll off here on Mirabito Energy Products night at the Speedway. The A Food Service All-Star Pizza number 22 of Giltag out of Rochester on the pole for this one is outside. The All-Star Contractor, 3 Rivers Car Wash 9X of Tyler Trump is outside. Row number 2 on the inside, third starting spot. The next Archery Fast Line Performance Twin Lead. French Express number 7 MM of Michael Moretzka on the inside, and to his outside, and the 24th out of Clark Summit, Pennsylvania, that is Jim Whitco Jr. And we got the 34 of Kevin Root to the inside of row number 3 to the outside, the 83X of Tim Sears Jr., and we got the 99L of Whiting, Larry White, and the 34 of the Freight Train, Andrew Ferguson. So heat race number 2 all set to go. They'll reach the VP race. For the 4th spot, 3 lines with 4 up. Battle for the 3rd spot. and rounding out the field. So Tyler Trump picks up the heat race win in heat number 2, followed by Tim Sears Jr., Michael Maresca, Larry White, and Gil Tag holding on to that final handicap spot in heat race number 2. Race number 3 for the Tracy Road Equipment Big Block Modifieds onto the Speedway, starting on the pole. Out of New Haven, New York, the Hog Welding Supply letter X. That is the X-Man Chad Phelps. To his outside, the Mones Industrial 62S. It's Tommy Sears. Road 2 on the inside, third starting spot. The Wild Safari. Tracy Road Equipment Coaster, CNY Sealing and Plowing, number 11T, that is Jeff Taylor, the outside of Taylor. And the 32R, that is RD3, Ron Davis, the third. Ron wants to thank all the race teams that helped him out. He's in line for his heat race after the wreck in hot laps. Row 3 to the inside, the 91 of the Franklin Flyer, Billy Decker. To the outside, the Parrish Pistol, Nick Kraus. Neville Plumbing Solutions, 18 of Sean Beardsley, and Jackson Gill. In the number 1, his crew put that big block together in 6 days. And he's here tonight at the Demon. So we'll see the green flag here off of turns 3 and 4. Green flag is out for the down in the turn 1 and 2. Down the backstretch. And in turns 3 and 4, they will work it. 11 of Taylor. They work it down the course in the turn 3 and 4. Right now, your top 20 followed by Davis, Hill, and Decker. The front track in the turn 1 and 2. Down the back track. Turn on the brake, he's got it. And Ronnie Davis shot to the back bumper. Just walk in the middle road here. By 2.2 seconds over Jeff Taylor, Chad Phelps, Ronnie Davis, and Billy Decker. Your cars in through the handicap. Then out of the handicap, Jackson Gill, Nick Kraus, and Sean Beardsley. And a lot of the modified crews coming to the aid of RD3 after the heat race, or after the hot lap debacle, as RD3 lost steering and hit the concrete wall out there in turn number 3. And a lot of teams came to his aid and helped him put the car back together to make the heat race. And Davis gets it done, finishing in position number 4 there in heat race number 3. Heat race number 1 of 4 for the sportsmen. The top 4 are in through the handicap. The top 5 will qualify. Jeff Prentice and Riley Regalo make up row number 1. Quinn Wallace in Fleet Repairs 21W to the inside. Tyler Murray to the outside. Teddy Clayton to the inside of row number 3. Zach Sabaka, your points leader, to the outside. Tony Steiner and Dalton Rombo make up row 4. Dustin Bradley and Taven Marino will make up row number 5. So here we go. 4 into the handicap, 5 qualifying. Green flag is out. Green number 1. Everybody clean and green there. 22 down the backstretch. And that battle for the number 2 spot. Riley Regala in the 21 on wall, and eating up right behind them is a dog fight between Murray and Sabania. Yellow will come out. Bradley around in turns 1 and 2, and Rombo nowhere to go, hits the front bumper of Bradley and does a 2-wheeled 2-step. Thankfully not rolling over, slamming down on his wheels, and the yellow is out. I think Bradley might end up okay, and I think Rombo might be too. A little bit of damage there to the door, most likely, on the right side of that 41 of Dalton Rombo. See if he can't get it refired, or if there's more damage we're unaware of when he came down off those 2 wheels. He's backing it up. He looks all right. The door's seen better days. But I think he's going to be all right to rejoin the field. Bunching up here as Marino here to the back. Battle for the lead shaping up between Wallace and Prentice. Wallace with a great restart there, and Wallace counts to the front. That drops Prentice down to second. Jack Sabak in the 3rd spot. Riley Regala trying to hustle his way into a top 4 handicap spot. Position right now is the 21 of Wallace, the 79 of Prentice, the 36 of Sabak, the R1 of Regala, and the 34 of Tyler Murray. Justin Bradley coming right back from the with that, Jack Bravo back in the infield. 63 of Queen trying to work to the high side of Steiner here at the 9. They're on the high side of the speedway, but Jack Sabaka real strong down the backstretch. Into turn number 3, he'll take the number 2 spot away. The field to finish in 5th, your last qualified car, as there was trouble between the 1 of Regala and that 41 of Rombo. Dustin Bradley with a collapsed front end there on that last lap. So it's Wallace, Sabaka, Prentice, and Tyler Murray, your cars in through the handicap. Last car qualified's Dalton Robbo. Then it was Riley Regala, Tony Steiner, Dustin Bradley, Teddy Clayton, and Taven Marino rounding out your top 10 there in heat race number 1. Whew, there was a whole lot going on there. Heat race number 2 for the Dot Food Sportsman onto the racetrack. Starting on the pole, in the Kids Property Service, TJ Hydroponics, CC Collisions, Mimi's Mini Storage number 5K, that is Matt Kitts. Matt Kitts in the 5K, your pole sitter. Tiz Outside, out of Fulton, New York, RMR, Flood Drive Properties, number 33, that is the Rocket, Richard Murtaugh. Row number 2 on the inside, third starting spot in the CC Express Transport LLC, Team Z Motorsports, Swift Springs number Z4 out of Mexico, that is JJ Corsi. To his outside out of Fulton, New York, in the Lindsay's Aggregates, Dusting Divas, Barnett Forest Products, Power Seal Driveway Sealing, Holland Trucking number 5, that is Amy Holland. Row number 3 on the inside, fifth starting spot. Driver out of Chittenango, New York, that is the ADX of Mike Button. The outside of Button in the All-State A1, that is Bucky Hayes. Row number 4, 7th starter, the Richardson Motorsports number 262 out of Morrisville, New York. That is Matt Richardson. To the outside of Richardson, out of North Syracuse, New York, in the Capital Home Improvement down at the Motorworks. Bennett Racing MB Motorsports number 06, that is Dorian Woodon. And your final starter in the Karen Sewing Room, Sweet Frog, Pitbull number 16X, that's Savannah LaFleur. Savannah LaFleur in the 16X. Pace lights are off. Green flag will be flown in turns 3 and 4 for Dot Food Sportsman heat race number 2.
rounding out the field. So Murtaugh, Holland, Corsi, and Button in through the handicap. The last qualifying car is the 06 of Dorian Woodon.
race number 3 of 4 for the Dot Food Sportsman onto the racetrack. Starting on the pole in the 13th hour rising Haunted Hayride number 19C, that is Brandon Carvey. To his outside, in the Harley FX Caprera Harley Davidson sponsor 21 out of Watertown, New York, that is Matt Caprera. Matt Caprera in the 21, he'll start second. Row number 2 on the inside, third starting spot. The Snap-on Ameritool Maxim Hardware number R19 out of Central Square, New York, that is Dale Caswell. To his outside in car number 04, I know Matt Kitts was in that car last week. It's Chris Bonofsky this week. So Chris Bonofsky piloting the 04 here tonight. Row number 3 will see the 3M of Chris Mackey to the inside and the 01R Robert Gage to the outside. Jake Pettit out of Parrish, he'll start the inside of row number 4 to the outside. In car 125R, that is Ray Reynolds. Then we got Corey Castell in Fire Swamp out of Akwesasne, New York, starting in position number 10. Reynolds, Castell, and Swamp, their first times here this season. So the green flag is out. Race number 3 underway for the Dot Food Sportsman, and it'll be all Brandon Carvey here on the whole shot. Down the back stretch. Third turns 3 and 4, he'll quick. Lap number 1. And it is a 3-car battle for that third spot. And here comes the number 3 machine of Chris Mackey. Attorney Stone Casino Resort number 3 coming off a win 2 weeks ago. Battling on for fourth. Got Bonofsky behind that battle. Then we got Pettit, Castell, Reynolds, and Swamp. So far here, 3 laps in, quickly making it forward. Battle behind us, big one to watch between. Way up behind the 04 machine. Bonofsky, followed by Reynolds and Swamp. Ripping the left here. Going out of that number 4 spot through the handicap as they hold on to it here at the Tucker. The handicap last qualified car in through heat race number 3 will be the 21 of Caprera. Oddman out in heat race number 3. We'll start with Jake Pettit in the 57, Castell in the 10, Bonofsky in the 4, Reynolds and Fire Swamp. Rounding out the field there in Sportsman race number 3. So Carvey, Caswell, Mackey, Gage, and Caprera punch their tickets into the show here tonight. Final heat race for the Dot Food Sportsman onto the racetrack. The Eagles Associate Brakes Vaughn Building Systems, Northern Weld and Fabrication, heat remarks number 32 of Moto Max Hill out of Hastings on the pole. Tis outside the Bradford White Water Heaters. AHK Mechanical Plumbing number 16 of Earl Rudy. Troyer Chassis will start on the outside. Whoosh! Alan Fink and the NYE Automotive Group number 8 to the inside of row number 2 to the outside out of Savannah, that is Emmett Waldron. Row 3 will see the Craig's Motorsports 17J of Brent Joy. To the inside to the outside, the Lou Michaels sponsor number 30 of Mike Lee. Then we got the 414 USA Needle of Dan Keys to the inside of row 4. To the outside, Josh Livingston. Oh, Steve Marshall in that 10. I think Josh Livingston moved to Tennessee. There we go. Ted Matthews all over it. Bentley Gray in the number 9 machine.
Wheeler, the last car into the gate tonight in the 11. I remember Ben Wheeler used to drive a number 99 Chuck Bauer car in the sportsman division for quite a while. So Ben Wheeler with us tonight here as well from Winthrop, New York. Nonetheless for Bentley Gray, and he will tag the tail, and we'll reshuffle the deck here. Hill, think your top two, third and fourth, and Marshall right now your last qualified car, but that's going to give Ben Wheeler and company an opportunity here with 2 to go to maybe change that. The pace lights are off on the Billy Whitaker's Cars and Trucks pace car, and it's going to be Max Hill and Alan Fink on the front row. Hill electing the inside line here on the restart. We'll see what Alan Fink's got up his sleeve on the outside. I believe this battle's far from over with 2 laps to go. Oh, he slow played it. Over it. And Hill takes the lead off at turn 2. That drops Hill to second, Luke to third, and Ben Wheeler up to fourth, little lap to go. Third to fifth on that restart, hold on to a qualifying spot with a lap to go. Down the last stretch, into turn 3 and 4, checkered flag is out, Alan Fink with a heat race lead. Out will include Marshall, Waldron, Gray, and Brent Joy. Impressive driving there by Ben Wheeler in that number 11. He started last on the field, 10th position, and drove it to 4th into the handicap. So impressive stuff from Ben Wheeler. And if you like mod lights, you came to the right place. With another regular track having the night off, they migrated south. And there's more than a handful of them here tonight. Starting on the pole of heat race number 1 out of Casanova, New York, that is Sam Osborne to his outside.
And then Glasby Motorsports, J West Express, number 99 out of Hastings, that is Tom Mackey. Moves with the inside third starter, Brad Harris. The Edge chassis, number 19, will start inside of row number 2 to the outside. Hunter Lawton out of Oswego. Clayton Brewer the third, and Jack Lyon will make up row number 3, Lyon in the number 11 car. Then we got Harley Brown out of Messina. He will start in position number 7, Wayne Dibble. And the 18 will start in 8th. In the 8 ball, Kelly Skinner will round out the field here and start 9th. 6 qualified. Harris with a bit of trouble there. Everyone backed up there a little bit. With a solid third place run here, and Harris looks like Osborne into the wall hard. Checked there by Harris, and front end is busted on the 39 machine. Yellow is out. Hook on the front for the 39 of Sam Osborne. Top break for Sam. He was just a victim of circumstance there as Harris got a run on him, looked high, and then decided mid-corner and 4 to look low, and they came together and met right in the middle. And that shot Osborne right into the concrete just in front of the flag stand. For Sam Osborne. Coming over the one-way radio, Brad Harris being penalized to the rear for the contact. So Sam Osborne, hopefully can get that car put back together before the end of the night as the Rooster. Scott Hickson getting ready to show the field. I did not want to FaceTime anybody. All of a sudden I see my mug on my screen. I'm like, I don't want to see that. Tom Mackey, Hunter Lawton, Clayton Brewer, Brad Harris, Harley Brown, Wayne Dibble, Brad Harris, and Kelly Skinner. See what they can do 2 laps in, 4 remaining, we're back on the way. There's Tom Mackey wheeling in there, but here comes Hunter Lawton. Wheel down the back stretch and into turn number 3. We got a car around, and that is the 11 of Jack Lyon. And the yellow will come out. As Lyon shaking that car down, making sure everything's good. And just whooped it on his own, but trying to shake it down to make sure everything's good. I want to thank you all for joining us here tonight. We know there's a lot of things you could be doing. You'd like to spend your hard-earned money here with us tonight. We plan on putting on a great show for you here on Morabito Energy Products Night at the Speedway. As we got the all-new wheel and engineering lights up here. We got one on the entrance into turn 1. We have one right under the flag stand, and we have one on the exit of turn number 4. One of the many improvements John and Laura White have done to continue upgrading the speedways, both at Brewerton and Fulton alike. Cole 7th, Kelly Skinner 8th, and Sam Osborne with a DNF. What a heat race that one was, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for them as they cross the start-finish line here on the cool-down lap. Hunter Lawton holding on for the heat race win over the 99 of Tom Mackey, Clayton Brewer, Howie Brown, and Brad Harris. Round out your top 4 in the top 6 qualified. That will be Harris and Lyon rounding out your qualified cars there in heat race number 1. Heat number 2 for the Mod Lights on the racetrack, and the new look, freshly wrapped, number 16 of Tucker Halliday, the American Dicing sponsored machine on the inside. To the outside, out of Union Springs, New York, the number 9 of Roger Elshewski. Row number 2 on the inside, 3rd starting spot, Rocky Joe Garofalo in the 55 to his outside, and the Scribatown in number 06, that's Magic Mike Mullen. J-Dub, Justin Williams in the 10W to his outside, the 30 of Isaiah Lyon. Then we got the 16S of Scott Sharp and Tristan Dibble rounding out the field in car number 4. Green flag is out. Tom Light, sponsored by American Federal Credit Union, is underway. Tucker Halliday jumping out to the early lead, but here comes Mike Mullen, topside tussling. Through the turn. Not a blinker down the front stretch and looking at the inside of Elshewski for second. Scott Sharp with a bit of a push there through turns 1 and 2. He'll hold on to it for the moment. Up on the high side of the track. Elshewski shuts the door. Mike Mullen says, pull the slingshot. Engage. Down into turns 3 and 4. He will take the 2 spot, but we got a car around in turn 2. Isaiah Lyon in the 30 machine, facing the wrong way on a one-way street. He'll get that corrected quickly. And the yellow will fly. Looked like Elshewski was trying to take Mike's lane away. Mike kept it foot to the floorboard, did a little open-o. Big tie went low, cold trickle style. Because we didn't complete the lap, Mike will have to give the spot back. And oh yeah, by the way, here comes Justin Williams. Same song, different verse. As Isaiah Lyon having trouble getting that car refired here as the tow truck drivers walking it up the hill, and it doesn't look very steep from the stands, but it's about 14 degrees of banking through the turns here at the D-shaped dirt team, and it's not flat by any means. Background on the track. It is a 3rd mile. The street is 300 feet. The back stretch, which is more of a D, is 360 feet with, again, 14 degrees of banking here around the speedway. I was talking to a couple drivers pre-race too. That turn 1, it's banked, and then you can see there's a bit of a shelf where the cars come on and off the speedway. It kind of levels out there. So once the groove gets really high in 1 and 2, it's driving up a bank, then it kind of flattens out, and then you go down the bank. You'll see that in action here later tonight, as I'm sure a handful of drivers will be rocking the top shelf before this one's over. Pace lights are off the Billy Whitaker's Cars and Trucks pace car. They'll fire again at the VP Racing Fuels, making PowerPoint barrel in turns 3 and 4. All together now. Tucker Halliday, Roger Elshewski, we're back underway. Combo, Justin Williams up to second, and he's got it. The back side, number portion of tonight's racing action. The schedule has been amended to look like this. We're going into our break. It's the Burdick Ford Junior Fan Club bike giveaway and the track grooming. If you want to take a ride on the Beast,